Okay, so you can see from the table. Can we read together? 1 to go. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is beaten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Go to 9. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had beaten any man, so sight and sound, are you here? You went home? Any man that control your sight and sound, control your life. Any man that control what you see and what you hear, controls your life. If a man carries the capacity to control what he sees and what he hears, he can control his own life. Okay, let me start from sight, right? Let me not mix the two of them together. But because of time, we'll still have to mix them. If it were to be Sunday, it would have been better. So this is God speaking. Numbers 21, verse 8 and 9. And he said, when they look upon this fiery serpent, they'll be healed. Not as if you're praying for them. But if they just make it, elevate it high, so that they can see it. And in the New Testament, they made reference to this. And they said, that same serpent that was lifted up was the Son of Man. That if he be lifted up, some of us, we are quick to underrate sight. Sight. Are you aware that the level you are like this is as a result of what you are seeing all your life? And you think, I've seen better. No. You see, it does not fail and is not unfaithful. As a matter of fact, you are dressing exactly as what you have seen all your life. What you have allowed enter you. Okay, I'll show you something. Are you here? Are you aware that a lot of persons draw tattoo, then after drawing it, they regret? They thought they love it because they've seen it somewhere. They had seen it somewhere, then it has affected them. Then you get to a point, they are now trying to unlearn what they've learned. Why do you think they will make a machine that draw tattoo and they make another one that clean tattoo that was drawn? Oh, let me show you a secret. Are you aware that anything that has to do with politics has to do with control? Control. How does politics control us? Very simple. Sight and sound. So they have the press. So the press you think is just a news. By the time you dig deep, you realize that it's owned by politicians. And they use that to control you. At some point in this nation, AIT was owned by PDP. How many of you are aware? At one point, they wanted to lock AIT. Because by the time NTA, that is owned by the government, is trying to propagate something, AIT will bring the real fact. Why are they so interested in this TV station? Why? So those of us that have stayed in the north before, we know. Sometimes there will be some news. And we have seen the news. We have had the news. We had proximity to the news. And in the news, we will now get another record from what will happen in real life. How many of you have experienced that? How many of you were not born in the time of Lekki Tollgate? So you see the news that is for, casting their news for. You see the news that is against, casting their news against. Because they understand to control the people is to control what they see and what they hear. Ezekiel 2:2. Let me just go to what we hear. Ezekiel 2:2. Very simple. While he spoke with me, his spirit entered into me and set me upon my feet. I'll show you something. Are you aware that you are capable of hating somebody you should not even hate? Just because you heard of the person. Okay, Ezekiel 2:2, let's read together. Want to go? And the spirit entered into me when he spake unto me and set me upon my feet. And I heard him that spake unto me. So forget the B part. Let's take the A part. And the spirit entered into me when he spake unto me. Are you aware that you can hate somebody that has no business with you? Just because somebody came out and is talking. That's why I don't respect people that sit down in a place of gossip and don't say anything. I don't respect them. Because I know it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. When somebody come and say, you see that papa, I don't even know why you will not talk against me, sir, because I'm nobody's friend. You know? Say that papa, I love the church, but that papa is annoying. Yes, you are saying the truth. That papa is this. Yes, everything you say is true. Now somebody sit down and say, I don't want to talk about the anointed, but you don't know that you are contaminated. Just keep hearing. Just keep hearing. All you need is to just keep hearing. By the time you hear, your sense of judgment dies. Then you begin to think as you think because his spirit has entered. So they control what you see, they control what you hear. All you need to do is just be hearing. Just hear. Hear. One time, a certain pastor spoiled me in this church to the extent, to another pastor, to the extent where we were celebrating my birthday. The pastor that spoiled me came to my birthday. The pastor he spoiled me to did not come. Then, after the guy had left here, the other pastor now sat down and thought about it very well. He said, sir, I don't even understand. This guy spoke so bad about you that I didn't come for your birthday. And he came. That's why the people that you must fear most are people that will spoil somebody to you, and by the time they see that person, they give the person a warm hug. You are about to die. Oh. You that they are spoiling, you are about to die. Oh. Somebody say, I'm telling you, James. And I say, Juwon is a devil. Juwon is, and then I see Juwon, my baby, run from me. Because you two, it's just a matter of time, you soon become topic. All you need to be a topic is be at the top. And why you are not a topic now is because you are down there. Nobody talk about anybody down there. Sight and sound. How many people have you hated and they've done nothing? So as you did like this, just sit down and think. Just think, oh, my list of people I hate. How many really offend me? If there are 7, you are a witch. If there are 5, you are approaching, they will soon commission you as a witch. And if there are, I bet you, if you were to hate 3 people, you realize that 2 out of the 3 did nothing to you. You just had. That's why I hate it so much when a minister stand upon the altar and begin to criticize another minister. Unconsciously, the minister is driving an agenda into the members. And what's the agenda? Oh, my fellow demons, let's gather together and hate this person. I ask you a question. 99.9% of you, TB Joshua was fake to you until you got here. And you had no proof that he's fake. As a matter of fact, if we were to demystify it and prove it now, you realize that he's the one that we should call real. Because he performed like Jesus. When you read your Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and a minister behaves like Jesus, aside from the fact that he's not schooled, he should be trusted. The one that preach and go is the one that should not be trusted, right? Now, why did you hate him? Because pastors, that one, I know they are monk. I know they are monk, that one. I need to remove myself. Pastors have stood on their altar and they tell you that you too, you are going to synagogue. I told you, I got there. I was looking at the you know, the demon that will come and perform. And I see they took normal praise, they took normal worship, they took normal offering, then they prayed for the sick. Then I'm looking, when is this demon going to come out? And TB Joshua came outside. Hallelujah. Can I pray for every one of you? And I'm looking, oh yeah, now say that thing. With all my discernment and my prophetic, what a fool. I mean, what a fool I was. With all the discernment that I was looking, oh yeah, say something. And everything he did is in the name of Jesus. Yet they hate him. Even till he died, they still hate him. Why? They've never had encounter with him, but they had. You had. How many of you that he has offended? How many you had? Yeah. Politics has a way of making the good bad and the bad good. So politics has entered the church. Why must you like who your friend like? Because you are controlled by sight and sound. And the moment those words come into you, they become a seed, tangible, and the person begin to manifest it. Have you noticed that the moment they tell you that this person has bad breath, what happened? By the time you get to the person, you begin to breathe in. Have you noticed that? You see that you're breathing in, or you're trying to seize your breath. Like me now that I can get this kind of stomach run, you know, I'll be seizing my breath. But you know you can't seize your breath forever. Then you breathe in. Because of the intake of too much, you know, say, oh yes, there's a confirmation. Because somebody said it. Do you know somebody can be likable to you because of what you had? Some of you have inherited people's enemy. Some of you have inherited people's enemy because of sight and sound. Sight and sound. They portray what they want you to see. One of my boys was telling me something. He said he desisted to follow somebody when the person said something. The person said, this person is a failure. This person will not amount to anything. Look at how this person is operating. And he said, when the lady that said that saw the person, the lady rushed, hugged the person. Yeah, it was like, Then after everything, the person began to do well, and he said, you people should be like this person. You just make up your mind. What do you want of me? You are being controlled. You don't have a mind of your own. You are controlled by your sight and your sound. While he spoke with me, his spirit entered into me. Are you aware that many of you never believed that you can finish school and not really get a job, instead create a job, until you met me? And I kept saying it. I kept saying it. I kept saying it. Do you know, something very funny happened yesterday. Should I tell you? I was working with engineer Kenny outside there. And whilst we were working, he said somebody gave him a job worth 100,000. And he said he would not take it. I think Warisi was with us. Yes, Warisi. Yeah. And he said he's not taking it. He said even if he does not work for 1 month, he's not taking it. Do you know what has affected him? Sight and sound. Sight and sound. Is he sight the same place? Sight and sound has affected him. And he said he cannot take that kind of job. Quickly, he had calculated how much he will make if he were to be working regularly per month. And while he was calculating it, I was calculating it also. So he had the proximity. He had the chance of making ×2, even ×3 of that per month. But go and interview other wedders. 100,000. They will not come to church. They will not first of all sing when they are doing the testimony. He deliver Paul and Silas. He will surely deliver me. Eba mi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo ríṣẹ́ 100 and the old church. Hey. Do you know why they are clapping? Sight and sound. Imagine you coming here, and it's not like your third job or your second job, and you are giving testimony of. There are people that lost times 10 of that one day. Here, so they are looking at you like, so they will be using this kind of thing to waste time in this service. So they'll be using, they are having serious problem with their rib, and they say, so they'll be using this kind of thing to wait. By the time you come and say, take, fire yourself. How did I control the congregation? Sight and sound. Everybody's thinking of how to set up a company. I went to sign one of my son in a certain job. He's here. In case you have not had handwork or you don't have anything you are doing, you will soon get it. Just wait. It remains small. I went to sign him there. And while he knelt down there and they were praying for him, these things. And there's no how you can bypass it. They were praying for him. We went with biscuits. We went with Coke and all. Before we got there, all our mindset was company. In fact, this month will be month of setup. A lot of persons are going into handwork and all. God is really doing it. His thoughts while he got there was company, how he could set up company. So by the time they came, they say, the first one say, this is what we used to eat. Then they now told him, they were advising him one after the other with biscuit and Coke. So they say, when you come here, don't steal phone, no. I now saw the phone in the hand of the man. This torchlight? It's not Nokia. Before you talk, you should look at the phone that is in the hand of this person. Instead of you are supposed to access the person, then you kneel down, let him pray for you. They say, don't steal phone, no. I laugh. As in David was with me, David too laughed. We look at the person. He said, please tell him, let him not be stealing phone, no. They are charging phone here, let him not. So I looked at all of them, their hand. There's some phone that, there's Android, there's camera phone. There's iPhone, there's iPhone. In case you are using iPhone that has button, it's iPhone. That's why they are taking your network, because they are not expecting you to be using that. It's no more for living thing. No, they gave you the phone, they took the network. Sometimes they will bring it back. They say, this one that has one button. In case your own iPhone has two buttons, just know that's weak. I could see, when a man is poor, you could see humility inside, because poverty has already humbled him. There's no poor man that is not humble. I tell you, there's no poor man. If you see a poor man that is proud, it's a deliverance case. It's a deliverance case. Because poverty has a way of humbling people. But this guy, would have been more well-to-do than plenty of the people coming to pray. But he knelt down there and he was just smiling. And they were advising him, yes, because he knows what he was gaining there. Do you know why his mentality is superior? Sight and sound. Sight and sound. So you have this, see what you are using it to do. See the quality of the things you are using. Sight and sound. Do you know what separates mechanic and mechanical engineer? Sight and sound. Sight and sound. Do you know what separates carpenter and Furniture. Sight and sound. Sight and sound. Sight and sound. Tell somebody, say sight and sound. You can never do more than what you have seen and heard. You can oh my God. I've taught some scriptures that are coming alive to me. So Paul was asking them, he said, which spirit do you receive? Huh? I think I caught it here. And they said, we received the spirit of John. And they said, have you received the Holy Spirit? And they said, we have never heard of it. If you have never heard of it, you can never have it. That's why hardly you will ever see me quote any man of God if he's not international. He can be in Nigeria here, but he's international. He should be international. Are there no pastors in Akure? Why is it that in my mouth you always hear Funke Adejumo, Felix Adejumo, Funke Adejumo, Felix Adejumo? Why? Sight and sound. When I came to Akure here, straight, I went there. Straight, sight and sound. If Mommy Felix Adejumo now, or Funke, call me now and say, Sinbo, this is da. I'll gladly give all my cars. Because I know a bigger one is coming. There are some people you give to is a seed. Some you give to is charity. Have you seen people that you look at and you say, what can I gain from? Well, God say more they do good. You will sell a chop. Why some? I may trek for some time, but sight and sound has made me understand. Do you know what they call Vela? You get it when you get home. Even now, Vela is asking for Tundra. I'll give him and that Mercedes. Just take it, mommy, don't worry. Yeah? Let me trek. Is it not to carry the children and take bike? Because I know that this one is a seed, sight and sound. There's something your God has done with you that I need your God to do with me. Do you know that there's a way this church affects your dressing? Just be coming anyhow. Go any ashotobari. Come abolojo Sunday. Then the ushers will bring you to some fair damsels on Sunday. You will just be smelling your garlic. And they take you to fair damsels. Then they say, tell the lady around you, you are. Then by the time you see those ladies leave that whole row for you. They leave the whole row for you. The late comers are there. Then they say, tell your neighbor I love you. They never tell you say I love you before your eye they remove water. The guy is about to say I love you. I hear when the pastor talk out. Sight and sound. It began to affect how people dress, how people talk, how people look. Sight and sound. Sight and sound. Look at the serpent, you are going to be healed. I'm not going to pray for you. This is Moses. As much as they look at the serpents, they are going to be healed. As we behold him, we are transformed from glory to glory. If government can control you by what they say and what you see, how come their camera is clearer when they are about to give out bags of rice? You have never thought about it. They set the camera in strategic places. Then they begin to distribute. The one that is snapping is snapping. The one that is videoing is videoing. They don't miss any shot. Sight and sound. So you look at him and say, he's a good man. Oh, he they give rice. You don't know that rice they gave to you. They just take the allowance of a week. A week? No, a day. They just take something of a day, but they've controlled you. Then they set camera, strategic places. They work on your brain. Say he's a good man. Oh. Have you seen election? Some people will hawk tomato. Election. Some will play football. Football. There's a way their physique will look. We know that if you pass to them and the ball touch them, they can faint. But you see, I've seen one. There's one politician that played football and fell down. They will come down in the order by. They are good people, very good people. Very good man. This very good man in Lagos, Sanwo-Olu, came down the way he used to do every day. Bought corn, was eating in the street with in the market. But sight and sound, and you are looking, hey, he's a free man. You say, Peter Obi. I have a problem. So far you are a politician. In fact, because of politician, Jesus said, wash and pray. When you are with a politician, I tell you, I've been a political prophet. I have prayed for them that if they promise you, some of you think you are in 4 years relationship. Yeah, the guy is not bringing this in. Try a politician. Try a politician. You will know that guy is far faithful than a politician. You will be like 20,000 that he's giving the same line, the same advice, the same word, and the same encouragement for 8 years. Some of you that have been sugar baby to a politician, you know what I'm saying? That's why you even cuckoo born again. Because you have realized that you have nothing to gain in this one. So, Peter Obi is a good one. He's a very good one. Yes. Did I say anybody's bad? Peter Obi is very, very good. But he's a politician. But he's a politician. Personally, I believe the best man won. Yes. The best man that know how to be politician very well won. You think he's about to talk outside? Somebody spoke outside and spoke inside. I'll win. There's nothing you can do. Because it's a game that every one of them plays. Just that one is better. Say, this very man is our candidate. Are you not seeing him? He takes general flight. Don't be deceived. General flight. He's in a general plane. And then they look you. Inside that general plane, they're on camera. They're inside the jet, they're off camera. It's just as if you catch me inside Molue now. You now say, Papa is a good man. Is he Molue going to... Wait till you don't pass, There's no way to try. There's no how I can try to tell you that I'm humble. Inside the bus, 18-seater. Then they force me in the back. While I was broke, I used to collect a whole line in the bus and lie down. And everybody will be wondering, what is happening? You know, that time poverty dealt so much with me that I didn't know that money I was using to collect a whole line could pay for flight. And the day I know agree enter again. Sight and sound. Then I come to Futa South Gate. Say, can I get 50 persons? Then I've already told my members, go and wait for me in Futa South Gate. Then I share 50K for them. Then I tell them, as I dey see you like this, go dey drop her for water. Papa, I thought he would give it to me. What I go over was here, What I go over Malala Kala. You just see me in your dream will last. But what is the impression I've left in their mind there? He's a generous man. Sight and sound. Don't be carried away by that. If you can control your sight and your sound, there are some things you hear, just smile and forget it. Unhear it. And there are some things you see, unsee it. Do you know why it is so hard for you to break some kind of foundation? Because for 20-something or 30-something years of your life, you've been seeing it. Sight. You will need to unsee so that you can see something new. I told you the example of marriage was not my own family. I used to preach it in every wedding I'm attending. And some of you have followed me to wedding. The example of marriage was not my own house. I knew my father when his car will be in the junior rate quarters in the barracks. And we will know from the senior rate quarters. And we'll begin to run home. We'll begin to run home. By the time we enter the house, we have baited, we have arranged everything. The man comes inside. You know those kind of father? Good morning, sir. You they receive knock, slap. Sometimes inside morning, hey, my father. Inside morning devotion like this, my father will not carry koboko. I don't know how he's in the spirit, yet he's seeing us sleeping. Batila onu tanwa oru do mimo. So the person that is caught, the person says, yeah, all of us, you now hear the temple, we'll get back into the spirit. My mother would say, leave your father's radio. Leave your father's radio. And there's a way he used to know. There's a way he used to know when we touch it. And we were bad children. We were... I'll confess. How many of you, I know we have a lot of millennials here. And Gen Z, another Gen again. But then, how many of you saw that DVD, one loader, that used to on light? How many of you saw it? Okay. How many of you have rented cassette or bought cassette, then the thing hook? Okay. Bring your hand down. How many of you has watched that other cassette and they take light with it inside? Baba, he could be like me carry the DVD run. I know some of you are well trained. You have no experience of these stuff. Like when I'm saying some of these things to my wife, she's even surprised. Like, how did you grow up this bad? You have no idea. My house was an example of mismatch. But a neighbor, I had to. If you follow me to, I preached it in your wedding. In Faith's wedding also, I said the same thing. Because when you say wife, honor your husband, honor, forget all that thing. It's nonsense. The biggest is love. Then there was this my neighbor, the man who come home. While my father is coming and everybody's in fear. In fact, sometimes the CD will come outside, you still open it to check. My father will come, there's fear. Everybody's scared. My neighbor, the man, I've forgotten the name. The son too is a prophet now, but the man is a Muslim. The son was trying to do ablution and he blew in tongues. That's how he got repented. Was trying to do Allahu Akbar and he blew in tongues. That's how he's a prophet now. Abdul Karim Olamoriyu. The man is Olamoriyu. That's his name. The man will come back, a naval officer, We'll come back, go to the wife, hug the wife tight. I will be on this mango tree and I'll be looking at this house. There's something unique about this house. Hug the wife, kiss the wife. I'll be like, eh? This kind of their love is somehow. Carry the children, kiss all of them. I'll be like, wow. We'll go inside. Then I'll come down from the tree. I will go get inside their house. Then they are forcing the children, come and eat pancake. Come and eat pancake. I'll give it to Sinbo. And in my heart will be like, give it to me. Give it to me. My house, morning eba, afternoon eba. No, sometimes we used to make it balance, like balance diet. Morning eba, afternoon gari and granite, evening eba. And I say you want to give it to me. Just give it to me. And the children will, the children were like my kids. They'll come, they just take little one and eat, and and I'll see the man go do the wife. And the children, there was this love, bought them game. The children were operating the TV. The first satellite I would see was there. The Cartoon Network, Boomerang, God knows, I was watching it in their house. I had to unsee what I've seen in my house to begin to see that. If not, if it's the way I grew up in my house, first of all, with the mentality I grew up with, it's either you give birth to a male child or an abortion. You know abortion? Don't know abortion? Okay, a male child or economic waste. Sorry, I mean female. That was my mentality. Because we're boys. So I believe if you are a female, you are an abortion. Or if you're a female, you are an economic waste. Imagine where I was coming from. But I had to unlearn. And now, the greatest asset I've seen. And you think that BS make you a man. I told you before, female goats nowadays, they have BS. Imagine I had to unlearn corrupt background. Guess what? One day, I heard from the mouth of my kids, up NEPA. So I asked them, I said, what's the meaning of NEPA? And they say, NEPA is when you off the light and you on the light. I was like, who taught you? Then I realized that they must have had it in their school or had it all around. Because there's no way you will hear up NEPA in my house. There's always light. And when it's off, you will not hear up NEPA. Sometimes we don't even know, except we put it in manual. NEPA off, solar take over immediately. Sight and sound. Go and look at their age somewhere that have seen the re-up NEPA. Those days in my time, you don't see up NEPA without dancing. You see up NEPA, you jubilate, you are happy. Sight and sound. Anything you are going to become in life depends on two things: sight and sound. What have you been looking at? What have you been hearing? So imagine if you purposely focus your attention on things that edify your soul. I told you how I began to bear the name Major One. I watched a man that fasted for 92 days. And I began to fast. I began to fast to the extent where I began to look like him then. And people say, Major One. What are you focused on? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Are you controlled by what people want you to see? What someone else wants you to see? Some of you, you are living in the shadow of another person. Because you are busy seeing. The country is so tough. That's what they are seeing. What are you seeing? I was somewhere yesterday and they say, we don't know what we will do now that the country is tough. And I collected what I was buying and I said, this one does not even concern me. He said, are you not in the country? This is not me trying to say I'm from Mount Zion. I'm from the... No. You know, you get to a point where even if you try to talk faith, it becomes pride. Because you're already living inside of it. Look at the person that you say is in country that is tough. Sight and sound. Why not focus your attention in things that you know that this one I must be developed? These people have been developed. I must be developed. Focus there. How are they doing it? How are they getting the result? Before you see, as you focus there, questions will begin to ring in your head. Questions will begin to come to you. Questions. Before you see, God begin to show you the secret of how He did it for them and how He wants to do it for you. Inherit people's enemy. Do you know your enemy can be my destiny helper? You don't know? Somebody may be after your life and the person wants to bless me. I'll now inherit your enemy. No, mind me. I already have enough. I should not add to it. Sight and sound. Sight and sound. I'm trying to drive a philosophy now, an agenda, that not everybody that is abroad is doing well. Some of you have thought that the moment you travel abroad, you just blow because you just get there and say, I don't reach Canada. I won't block my own money. Oh, yeah, block. That's your mentality. Until you get there. I put something on my status and we were all joking with it. Right? And I say, you will get to US or Canada. I'll be on my own. You will post your picture. You will send me your picture. You will make me know how bad my life is. Then how good your life is. All of a sudden, your face, we don't want to know if it's filter you do. Your face become very fresh. Then you are complaining of cold. And while me, I'm looking at that your picture, I've already off my shirt and I'm fanning myself. Then when you make me feel as if the life is good over there, then I more shine billing there. You know, sometimes it's not even what I want to shine. It's just small. I just say Jenko, Jesha. Then I give ta. Then I say, what we are going through here. You don't have the right to tell me that. You don't have the right to tell me that. You must pay. Sight and sound. They make you feel all right. Then you are rushing there. You are rushing. You want to go. Instead of you to even learn something, have a plan. Have a framework. Have a framework that you are going to do. Then you get there. You begin to clean gutter. You clean gutter. By the time you pay tax, it's remaining 300,000 naira there. By the time you eat, it remains like 200K. Then you are still confusing us. Then you do a job. You do a job for a whole year. When you reach your turn, you use it to travel to Nigeria and buy land. And you say, the guy just bought land. I began to know the secret when some of them began to borrow money from me. And I look at, then I realize that what they really have is the background. You see that background? And those big shoes and that sweater. You're feeling me? They've driven an agenda to your life. Then you too, go to school. You don't want to go. Learn a certain skill so that by the time you go there, you just want to go there and pluck money. That's the agenda now. Then they get there, they begin to engage in all manner of nonsense. Some people don't even care where they go to. Even if it's Panya, imagine Panya is rejecting your visa. Panya. Same you are where you supposed they are supposed to give you visa. You say no, I'm cool. Then they put it, he say, I've gone abroad. See their stamp. Do you know why? They have seen it so much that when you travel, that's when you make it. What happened to your brain here? If your brain cannot work here, cannot work there, say there's many opportunities here. Have you exhausted the opportunities here? Don't go without having a plan, a framework. Don't go. That's why people marry for visa. The same you that you are an alpha male. A lady will tell you what they say. Are you talking to me? There, a lady will not say, go and sleep in the back corner. He say, okay, mommy. Gambia. Get out of the house. Okay, mommy. Go and wash the place. Okay, mommy. Because you want to sleep in the cold. They honor women more than men there. You are about to sleep in the cold. Because no framework. What have you been beholding? Some of you, God has taken you to this kind of church, but yet, all your head, if we were to open it, all you behold is still poverty. As in, you have held on to it like na do or die. Do you know how I know them? Very simple. But sometimes I can be talking about money. Some people are angry. Have you seen people that they will live here and they will tell you that I love that church, but they talk about money. And when somebody comes to tell me that, I say, no problem. I know this one will not come again. Why? Because me or the Kimbolori Brukuni. Look at everything is just too flashy. How should a church be? There should be no drum, there should be no good sound, then we gather. Ìjọba ọ̀run kún dẹ̀dẹ̀, aráyé ẹ̀yí padà, onídàájọ́ ayé tí yóò béèrè lọ́wọ́. Do you know why onídàájọ́ ayé is not coming, sir? You don't too suffer. It's just giving you small time to enjoy small. Enjoy small so that you know how heaven feel like. Some people go reach heaven lost. Be on your feet. Tell your neighbor, say sight and sound. How come you have watched so many porn that you begin to see yourself? Papa, I dreamt I was sleeping with somebody. What did you watch 3 days in a row? Porn. What do you think will now appear in your dream? Porn. Not everybody that call me and say, Papa, I saw fire coming out of my mouth is anointing. Some people don't smoke, he go. He get how you go smoke rich in the dream, The spirit will be communicating to you that now you don't need to smoke Igbo again. In the realm of the spirit, in no loju, in no lenu, you are Shango. You have contacted the spirit of Shango. Sight and sound. Do you know your sight and your sound affect your dream? When we speak about Lamborghini and Ferrari, some of you already frown like, Toyota Celica told me. Then in your dream, you now come and say, Papa, I saw myself driving a very fine car. Then they collected it from me and they gave me a bicycle. Yes. And they collected it, they gave me an ugly car. Have you forgotten when we were talking about the fine car in church? Have you forgotten how you felt? Say, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. We are seek first. We have followed your advice. We are seek first. Every other thing has followed us. You still tell us to go and seek first again. Sight and sound. If I was not a pastor, there are some churches I will not go till Jesus come. You see those churches, they are trying to raise money, and I listen to how much are you raising. I took my wife to one of it, and my wife sat down. She was by my side. I've told you the story here. And they say, Omo logo 12 Konja dewa Beluwa 1,000. My wife was looking. Me, I'm already used to that. Me too, I was looking. So my wife whispered to me and said, babe, if I give them this 12,000, will they stop this nonsense? I said, try it now. So she brought her purse, she carried 12,000, she dropped it, she came back to sit down. The man looked at it. Okay, 12,000 yìí ti pé ẹ bá ń gbé bọ́ọ̀lù mi wá. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ pé another line again, I will not go. I will not go. Sight and sound. If the church is not growing, I will not go. If the church is not growing now, I can start with a church from scratch. But I come the next year, you are still the same. I will not go. I will not go. If I cannot afford AC in my house, let me just come to the church and do. Ooh. Oh Lord, I need this in my house. I will not go. Am I saying everybody should come here? No. Obviously, me only. But then, how come you stay? The site, you see, you are there. You are there. It's in foundation. 1 year. Foundation. 2 years. Foundation. 3 years. Foundation. 4 years. Foundation. 5 years. Foundation. 6 years. Something is wrong. Some people, their mentality is in foundation. Not just the physical thing that you see. Are you growing here? Are you growing here? Because if you grow here, your pocket will grow simultaneously. Some of you think the millions you have simply mean that you are blessed. You are not. Oh, this is why the moment you have one kind of big money, that money will run down to the level with which you can handle, to the level of your sight and sound. You may have millions. That does not mean you are a millionaire. That's why some persons will never think right until they burn the money to a certain level they can handle. Then they'll not say, this money is going now. I should do something. That you see that amount you have and you are thinking you should do something and you start something. That's your level. The rest is just cup overflow. Sight and sound. That's why by the time you begin to increase your sight, increase your sound, increase your sight, increase your sound, increase your sight. I told you how somebody said that somebody is richer than me because the person bought a wait till this motor. No, not Big Daddy. He is using Big Daddy. The Camry muscle. He said this Camry muscle person is richer than me. And I was laughing. Why? Because in their eye, sight and sound. Camry muscle. How much I go add join that tire? So you know the price. Sight and sound. Do you know why I cannot be proud to you? To you. I have taught you we have had the same mentality. So I can't be proud to you. So some of you will even look at those cars and be like, well, I've not had my own, but I can't be as bad as this papa's nonsense. Sight and sound. Although you don't get anyone now.